What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I really do. I gotta do something real quick here. What's up, Martin Johnson? How are you today? What? Turn it up a little bit. Can you hear him? Who, Martin? No, you're on your. I know. I wasn't talking. I was sending a link over to Martin's. All right. Well, here we go. This is FBI Friday. We will be discussing some of the most recent cases when it comes to human trafficking, child sex trafficking, production, distribution, receiving child pornography cases that hit the federal level in the United States this past week or two. This is a special edition. Towards the end of this, when I get done reading these cases, we're going to talk about the Puff Daddy case, the P. Diddy case, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I call it a travesty. I call it a shipwreck. It's not good. I think it's bullshit, and people were paid off. But with that in mind, I'll show you my face. What's up, Mike D in the house? What's up, bro? Man, they changed shit again on StreamYard, dude. This is bullshit. What's up, Luna? Luna Moon in the house. First case we will be talking about. FBI returns a fugitive to Sacramento County to face sex crime charges. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, Sacramento Field Office, and Sacramento Police Department are announcing the successful extradition of Jose Luis Navarro, who fled to Mexico to avoid prosecution in Sacramento County. Both agencies worked with the FBI legal attaché office in Mexico City, and Interpol, U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Services, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and the Department of Justice's Office of Internal Affairs to secure Navarro's arrest and extradition. No matter where criminals hide, the FBI will not stop until they answer for their crimes, said Special Agent in Charge Sid Patel of the FBI Sacramento Field Office. Between our global reach and strong international and domestic partnerships, we will ensure fugitives are caught and brought to justice. When was this? So it's 11/11, by the way. So yesterday's extradition sends a clear message: if you run, we will find you. Navarro was wanted by the Sacramento Police Department for the alleged sex crimes against four minor children between 2014 and 2022 in Sacramento, California. A felony no bail arrest warrant was issued for Navarro by the Sacramento Superior Court, charging Navarro with 38 counts of lewd acts of a child under the age of 14 using force, violence, 5 counts of sex acts with a child under 10 years old, and 2 counts of lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14. The FBI obtained a federal arrest warrant by criminal complaint for the unlawful flight to avoid prosecution on May 16, 2023, following information indicating that Navarro left the United States to avoid prosecution in Sacramento County. A joint investigation by the FBI legal attaché in Mexico City, FBI Sacramento Field Office, and Interpol's Agencia de Investigaciones criminal located Navarro in Vista Hermosa, Michoacan, Mexico, where he was apprehended by Mexican law enforcement partners on March 23, 2025. Navarro was held while the extradition was pending. Navarro's return was funded by the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Project Welcome Home, which provides funding to assist in transportation of federal fugitives to the United States. The FBI continues to collaborate with its law enforcement partners to apprehend criminals charged with state crimes who flee jurisdiction. Crazy. Well, they got him anyway. That's good. Just stopping in to say, yo, yo, yo. Write those letters. That's right. We got to write letters. What's up, Brenda Ghost? Yeah, you got gifted a membership last night, I believe. Maybe it was a different ghost. What's up, gangsta? This guy needs caught and shot. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, you don't even need to say sorry, not sorry there, Luna, man. For real, I'm right there with you. I call them 47-cent cases. Why? Because that's about what it costs to make a 9mm bullet is 47 cents. Just saying. I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying. If this is the case, I think it is. We'll see. It's not. Hey, boss, Miss Boss. Hey, boss, Miss Boss. Hey, Martine. Luna Moon. Martin Mike. Jury convicts Tallahassee man of attempting to entice a minor to engage in sexual activity. Thursday, July 10th, 2025, for immediate release, United States U.S. Attorney's Office, Northern District of Florida. Tallahassee, Florida. Jelani Amari Peterson, 28, of Tallahassee, Florida, was found guilty by a federal jury yesterday of attempting to entice a minor to encourage an unlawful sexual activity. The verdict was announced by John P. Heekin, United States Attorney for the Northern District of Florida. U.S. Attorney Heekin said, "I am proud of the great work by my office and our state and federal law enforcement partners to take this sex offender off the streets. This case exemplifies the mission set forth by President Donald J. Trump and Attorney General Pamela Bondi. Protect America's children against predators like this defendant. My office will continue to aggressively prosecute such offenses to keep our most vulnerable members of the community safe from the predations of these sick individuals." Trial testimony demonstrated that in September 2024, federal, state, and local law enforcement executed Operation Lifeguard, an undercover operation designed to apprehend individuals who use the internet to sexually exploit children online. During the operation, Peterson communicated with an undercover officer who he believed to be a minor female. and expressed interest in engaging in sexual activity with the child in exchange for money. When Peterson arrived at a prearranged meeting location, law enforcement arrested him and searched his car. A subsequent search of his cell phone confirmed his communication with the undercover officer. Peterson faces a minimum mandatory sentence of 10 years in federal prison and a maximum of life imprisonment, followed by a term of 5 years to life of supervised release. He will also be required to register as a sex offender. Sentencing is scheduled for October 3rd, 2025 at 11 a.m. at the United States Courthouse in Tallahassee.
That's the same day Diddy's getting sentenced.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Tallahassee before Chief United States District Judge Alan C. Windsor. This would be a good case to write in on. I'd write the judge. We got time. It's still October. We start writing them letters now and say, Your Honor, we're demanding you carry out a full extent period of the law on this guy. Make him do a life sentence. After all, his victim's serving a life sentence. And obviously, 38 charges, he's had more than one fucking victim. They're all serving life sentences. It's only fair that he serve his life sentence as well. I'm just saying. Thanks for the raid, Martin. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Maria. I did drop the link for panel if anybody wants to come up and join me because I just love being on panel by myself. Hey, just saying hello and hitting the thumbs up. Well, why don't you just stay a while, Art Stew? 984 signatures on that petition. We're rolling. Well, Maria's rolling anyway. What's up, Jessica Lynn? What do you mean you need new receipts? On what? And this is how you can contact these guys. You're going to contact United States Attorney's Office, Northern District of Florida, USAFLN .press.office at usdoj.gov. California man sentenced for conspiracy to distribute and receive child pornography. Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, for immediate release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Northern District of Florida. I remember, I remember this motherfucker. I remember this guy. Tallahassee, Florida. Nelson Omar Aguilera Valebulas, 21, of Oakland, California, was sentenced to 5 years in prison after previously pleading guilty to conspiracy to distribute, receive, and possess child pornography. Boo! This is bullshit. I thought he was going to get way more time than that, dude. 5 fucking years, dude. This sentence was announced by John P. Henke, United States Attorney for the Northern District of Florida. Well, John P. Henke, you get a thumbs fucking down today. You're not a hero. You're a piece of shit, and you shouldn't have your job. According to court records, Aguilera was communicating with other individuals using social media regarding the exchange of child pornography.
Babe, that's the one that we just watched.
Huh?
On that guy? Didn't we just watch a little bit ago?
No. This dude's only 21, babe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. According to court records, Nilson Omar was communicating with other individuals using social media regarding the exchange of child pornography. Nilson Omar specifically requested access to a link of child pornography that contained videos of adults engaging in sexual acts with prepubescent children. Nilson's prison sentence will be followed by 5 years supervised release. We also need to write a letter to this prosecuting attorney and tell him how shitty of a job he's doing and he shouldn't be given that job again. I don't care if he's just receiving it or not. Life sentences for all of these crimes. Just saying. My office will continue to work tirelessly to investigate and aggressively prosecute those who commit these heinous crimes. This sentence underscores the critical importance of finding and holding these online predators to account for for the evil they perpetuate. Online against children, said Homeland Security Investigation Tallahassee Assistant Special Agent in Charge Nicholas in Gennaro. We are committed to working with our law enforcement partners to identify the dark corners of the web these predators lurk in and prosecute them for inflicting unimaginable harm on children. Really?
And he gets 5 years.
He gets 5 years and 5 years of supervised release, and it doesn't say shit about him having to register as a sex offender. Did anybody catch that? Anybody catch that one? The United States Marshal Service stands committed to working with our law enforcement partners to apprehend the heinous offenders who attempt to prey on our nation's most vulnerable population, said Greg Lengendale, acting United States Marshal for the Northern District of Florida. You all dropped the fucking bomb. You all dropped this case. You guys all dropped this case. Every one of you get a thumbs down. Every fucking one of you. Pathetic. Beaver Falls man admits traveling to North Carolina with teen for sex. Oh, that's a long time ago. Why does it reset it on me, dude? Ooh, that makes me so mad when it does that. Stillwater man charged with producing, receiving, and possessing child pornography and aggravated sexual abuse. Let's see here. Yeah, these FBI Fridays and Awareness Mondays and some other shows I do, they're not for everybody, that's for sure. Art. I mean, just because it's not up your alley, I mean, we should also pay attention to what the fuck's going on out there, especially when it comes to children, whether you got kids or not. No, that's not the one we wrote to, Jessica Lynn. No. That's right, Martine. Can we say prayers for John Lacombe, G2K? His son passed away. Yeah, I know. I was the first one you talked to about it. I was, yeah. I've got them all. I've got him and Miss Wanda in my prayers for sure. For sure. Yeah, Mr. Lacombe, Mr. John Lacombe called me yesterday. Shit, it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and said that his son-in-law was um, in the hospital and he wouldn't make it through the night. And Mr. John called me back like an hour and a half later, and he had passed away. Yeah. Talk about the most humble guy in the world was Mr. John's son-in-law. He had leukemia, and he was never complained about shit. Never complained about anything. Very, very humble man. I will be back, and I'll leave the page open for the algorithm. I hate how awful this stuff is. I'm in the UK. It's no better. Right, Art? Yep. All right, I appreciate it. What's up, sister? CFM's queen. Hey, get to know brother hugs. Please don't forget to hit that like, friends. People are evil. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And yes, I am. Hi, Pat. Hey, everyone. Hope you all having a good day. It would kill me if one of mine passed. Yeah. I can't even think about that. Candy wrapper. And I'll never forget my mom when we lost my brother. Yeah. What's up, Wanda E? We're fucking being G units like always, bro. How the fuck you else? What else you expect from us, bro? Come on now. John is a true gentleman. Yes, he is. Big heart, big, lots of love for man, for real. Yes, Wanda. It's Friday already. All right. Stillwater man charged with producing, receiving, and possessing child pornography and aggravated sexual abuse. Wednesday, July 9th, 2025, for media release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of Oklahoma. FBI seeks to identify additional potential victims. Pay attention, everybody. Listen to this, okay? Yeah, bush dwellers, rest stoppers. They're called rest stoppers over here, Martine. We don't have the bushes. I don't like the person who started calling them the bushes, so I just like calling it the rest stop because that's what my mom came up with. So get up out the rest stop, put your shoes back on, come in here and say fucking hi for shit's sake. What's up, Auntie Leah? How are you, sweetheart? Good to see you here. Well, here's your chance to make a difference, Pat. You're in Oklahoma and you say they don't care what them kind of people do. Well, here's your chance to make a difference, sweetheart. Okay? Oklahoma City, a federal grand jury has charged Lee Grant Clark, 78, of Stillwater, with 2 counts of production of child pornography and 1 count each of receiving of child pornography and possession of child pornography and aggravated sexual abuse, announced U.S. Attorney Robert J. Troster. On July 1st, 2025, a federal grand jury returned a 5 count indictment against Clark, charging him with the crimes listed above. According to public record, in October 2024, federal FBI agents began investigating a computer user requesting child sexual abuse material, or CSAM, through a file sharing website. an investigation into the IP address of the user led authorities to Clark's home in Stillwater. FBI agents spoke with officers with the Stillwater Police Department who who alerted the agents of a report involving Clark's alleged sexual abuse of two minors around 2024. The indictment further the indictment further alleges that Clark produced CSAM on at least two occasions and sexually abused minors under the age of 12. The FBI is seeking to identify potential additional victims. Anyone with additional information to report can contact the FBI at lgc victims at fbi.gov. If found guilty, Clark faces up to a life sentence in federal prison. He also faces, well, he's 78, so he probably won't even make it to fucking trial. It doesn't say who he's got to go see in front of. What's up, Charlie? Sending love. How are you, sweetheart? Good to see you here. What's up, Ottawa? Haven't seen you for a minute, bud. I thought you were hating on me too, bro. I appreciate the support, Angelia. I really do. Hell yeah. That's see, it's more. It's like these ones. Like it's more. It's like contacting congressmen. That's good. But when it comes to these cases, the best thing to do is to literally write a direct letter to the judge and a direct letter to the prosecuting attorney. Just say, hey, I'm here listening, getting my stuff ready for my road trip. Where you going, Little Moon? Just came by to tickle G2K belly. Cheers. All have awesome weekend. Thanks, James. They will ankle brace him like all the others, sadly. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, or no, not the first time ever, on FBI Friday, we'll go with that. Charlie sending love. How are you, sweetheart?
What's up? Hey, you know I had to come tickle your link and touch it a little bit.
Oh, I love that I love that I have people that like to come here and tickle my fancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have to do that every once in a while, right? We have to touch your link and play with all your buttons.
Well, I am a Cancer, and I do like my ego stroke, so I'm just saying.
Oh, this is my first time being up on the link since they changed StreamYard like they have.
Dude, it's so fucking confusing, dude. It really is, dude. I'm so bummed about it.
As a guest, like, because, I've seen it from the creator side, seen it from
Yeah.
the guest side. I'm like, oh, this is different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they have a red arrow now to leave that points to the right. And it looks similar, just a little bit different, like just a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, my people that ain't been on the link in a while, they hit my link this morning and they go, how do I leave again? This looks different.
Yeah, because I did my live stream. I did my Thursday night chilling and chatting last night, and the layout that was on here last night is not the same one that's on there now.
It's different. I will say a lot of it is different. They're steadily popping out new things. Also, they have stated this on their website. If you're using a virtual background, you may or may not have issues if you're using Chrome.
Oh, yep, I did read that too. I read that too. That's
Hmm.
been on there for a couple days now.
How's your arm doing? How's everything going?
I hate it. I fucking hate it. Like, I think it would be easier if they just chopped the son of a bitch off. Not even
Also,
joking.
with FBI Friday, what advances have y'all made, and whatnot?
Well, Not many. There's not. You know, the sad thing about all this is you would think. Well, I know. I thought that there would be. I would have a lot more support and things would be a lot easier to get changed when it comes to laws and penalties and shit for kids. And it's not, dude. There's so much pushback from every angle, from every direction. Like it's fucking crazy. It blows my mind. Like I sit and just scratch my head all the time about like why is it like why why is there so much fucking oh well that's why because it's such a horrible crime and people too so many people are fucking participating in this shit and people in positions of power they're making the rules and the laws and it's just fucked up, man. It really is fucked up, man. So
I don't understand why people like when you do these streams, knowing that you're doing this for the betterment of children, are even going to come in here on any type of hate whatsoever. Now, I could understand if you were doing controversial, like you were doing drama or something of that matter, right? Of that
yeah,
subjects. But
yeah,
to actually try to change laws to help children, you know what I'm saying, and protect our youth, which is our most precious commodity, right?
yeah,
Because they're going to change the future. Um, to come in here, try to p bomb you, to try to cause hate and troll you. To me, I'm like, there's so much more you could troll. You could troll a person who's actually going around and hurting people, doxing people, doing bad
yeah,
things. But you're
yeah.
trolling someone who's actually trying to make a change in the world and do good. What
Yeah.
sense does that make?
Like I get at least one death threat every single day in my emails. At least one every single day. Since the day I started doing it for the last 3 years, I get at least one death threat in my emails every single day. Every day.
Yeah,
The
that's
most I
and
got
that
was six. Like six death threats in one day.
I could understand if you were not doing something to change the world for the betterment and you were over here like just doxing people or messing with people. We know a couple of those people who kind of deserve those kind of threats, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you were actually out here, hurting children or doing things like that, but you're actually trying to change something and do for the betterment. Why would you try to go after somebody who's doing better for the world?
I don't get it either. I
I,
really
that
don't.
really, unless you yourself, now here's the other thing, unless you yourself are actually doing those things and that's why you're
There's
hating.
there's the catch. And I say that all the time. Like people come in here and they like try to drop nasty shit or whatever, and it's just like, look, if you're here to be negative, well then that tells me one of two things: either you support this or you are one. So like, which one is it? And they usually end up leaving and not coming back. So like don't come around and fuck around over here because we'll cut your heads off. Well, I don't even give a shit.
Yeah, they don't want to mess with me because I'm going to tell you something. I'll read you the filth for the facts of your life and you're not going to like me too much.
Oh hell no! I get that from you, girl. Like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I know you and I got this one little connection. We got this connection between two of us and all. But I'm saying I wouldn't want to meet you in a dark alley with you pissed off at me. I'm saying
I'm crazy. I'm just saying.
for real. Like crazy knows crazy, and crazy saying crazy is crazy. You know what I mean?
Uh huh. I
Yeah,
got you. I feel you.
for real. So Canadian county man convicted after arranging meeting to sexually assault children in Oklahoma City motel. Let's read about this piece of shit.
Mm.
Come on, load. Okay. Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. Creative release, U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of Oklahoma. Here's another one for you, Pat. A federal grand jury has convicted Ronnie Allen Barton. I remember this one. We covered this one too. 48 of Canadian County of 2 counts of attempted coercion and enticement of a minor, 1 count of commission of a sex offense by a registered sex offender. So he's a repeat offender. And 1 count of attempted receipt of child pornography, announced U.S. Attorney Robert J. Troster. On February 20th, 2025, a federal grand jury returned a 4 count indictment against Barton, charging him with the above crimes. On June 17th, 2025, a federal grand jury found Barton guilty on all counts. Evidence presented at trial showed that in July 2024, an undercover FBI agent posted an online advertisement for the opportunity to meet with two fictitious underage children, a 9-year-old girl and an 11-year-old boy, or an 11-year-old girl, for sexual purpose. Through the platform, through the platform, Barton expressed interest in the ad and over the course of several months requested that the agent send him pornographic pictures of the girls. Ultimately, Barton arranged to meet the agent and the two fictitious girls at an Oklahoma City motel for the purpose of engaging in sexual acts with the girls. Barton was arrested outside of the motel on January 24, 2025, when he showed up at the appointed time and place for the meeting. Public records reflect that Barton is a registered sex offender with a previous 2018 conviction for lewd acts or indecent proposal in Canadian County District Court case number CF 2017 254. As sentencing, Barton faces no less than 20 years and up to life in federal prison and a fine of up to $250,000. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, everybody here in chat, everybody, get your pens and get your pens, pencils, your pieces of paper. We got a writing assignment. Okay, I'm giving you all a writing assignment today. Okay. Um, this case is a result of an investigation by the FBI Oklahoma Field Office. This case is part of Project Safe Childhood. He's already sentenced, right? What the fuck? No, not sentenced yet. Why come it doesn't drop a sentencing date? The fuck, it doesn't give me any more information. What the hell? Now I'm mad. Now I'm mad.
I hate when that happens.
I know, right? Shit. So just write a letter to U.S. Attorney's Office, Western District of Oklahoma. You'll have to find the exact address yourself, but I'm gonna write one myself. And it's for Ronnie Allen Barton, 48 of Canadian County. Um, it doesn't say a judge though. That's fucked up.
It's the Western District of
Western District of Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, and
U.S.
his name
Attorney's
is
Office, Western District. Ronnie Ronnie Allen Allen, Barton Barton, 48 years old, of Canadian County.
I'm doing this so I can put it in chat for the chatters
Sweet.
there.
And then you're going to address the letter to U.S. Attorney Robert J. Troster, and that's Troester.
Robert.
J, just the letter
Okay.
J. J.
Okay.
Troster. Troester.
All right.
And then just in the letter say, I'm so and so from wherever the hell you want to put it, and just say, we heard about this case involving Ronnie and his charges, and we just want to let you know that you're being watched by people. You're gonna, you need to be held accountable, and we implore you to do your job and convict and push for this man to get the full sentence of life in prison. He's 48. If he does 20 years, he'll be out at 68. There's still plenty of time to give him time to come out here and hurt more children. Period.
And
Just
his last
because,
name is Barton,
go ahead.
right? Aton.
Barton. Yep.
Okay. I just making sure I had that. I'm gonna
I appreciate
post
it.
that in chat so that others can see.
I appreciate it, sweetheart.
They could copy and paste that. Makes it a lot easier.
There you go. There you go. There you go. See, thinking, using the noodle. Okay, so I'm going to kind of dip off of the FBI Friday thing real quick, but sticking to the FBI Friday thing, let's talk Diddy, okay? Let's talk Puff Daddy. I am not only sick to my stomach, I actually, this has actually caused me to lose some of my motivation, Like, like, out of all the charges that he was facing, he only gets convicted on 2 of them. And that was transporting people for the purpose of prostitution. Cassie Ventura, and who was the other one? I don't remember her name.
Jane. They
Jane.
called her
Yeah.
Jane. Yeah,
Yeah.
she had a basically a Jane Doe name.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so here's my problem. Okay, how the fuck does prosecution have 32 people testify and only get a conviction on 2 charges, and not even the worst charges, especially when it comes to how you can relate the transportation for prostitution
Racketeering and traffic.
and racketeering together. They come hand in hand. If he's guilty of the transportation for prostitution, he has to be guilty of racketeering because he is using his identity, his business, his image, his business as a means for business, for illegal business. Period. That's racketeering. It,
Also, a lot of people don't realize that the charge that he got convicted of is only a 10-year, and most of the time in federal they do concurrent and not consecutive, which means it's a 10-year flat for both charges. And because he's considered a first-time offender, he's not going to have to do the. Yeah, he's going to get a slap on the wrist. He's pretty much. They're going to say that he's going to get time served for the by the
yep.
time this comes around, and he's probably just going to be on probation for a certain amount of time, and then if he gets probation, if he gets it, and he's going to get out.
And like I know none of us know all the details of the case and all that shit, but total total fuckery of our judicial system. I'm curious to find out who the jurors were and to see how big their bank accounts were before they got put on that jury and see how big their fucking bank accounts are now. You know
And
what I
what
mean?
I'm worried about with this situation is the people who came out and spoke out. I'm
Yeah.
worried. I'm worried about Cassie Ventura herself and her child. Let me explain to you why I'm worried about the child. If Because here's the thing, Jane, he's going to forget about her. He is going to blame Cassie Ventura for this entire thing,
Oh yeah.
right? And who is the number one thing? He's not going to go after her per se. He likes to go after people that are close to you. Her newborn baby. That is what
Yeah.
I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And he has the means, the money, and all that to do it.
That's one thing. That's one thing I was gonna say. That's one like in hindsight. Okay. Anytime something happens that lets you down, you have to have a hindsight to it. Okay. So in hindsight, with this, if I'm saying that right, I'm probably not. I'm probably making an ass of myself, but I don't really care. So, like, Diddy paid out the ass for them 7 fucking lawyers that he had. Okay, he will never, he will never return to the status that he was before this happened. That's a
Public
good thing.
opinion. Yep.
That's a good thing. Like he's never going to release an album that's going to be a banger again. He's never going to produce another fucking record that's going to be a bang. His clothing line will be shut the fuck. Like people are like, I'll burn his. You know what I mean? Like that's a good thing. But I would still love to see him sitting right in the same cell with fucking R. Kelly.
At least with the court of public opinion, a lot of people are not supportive of him, and this is a warning to any woman who tries to get involved with him from now on. They know where he stands and what he's going to
Yes.
do. So at least there is that. But like you said, how can you not find guilty on all charges when they're all combined charges and they pretty much like link up?
In hand, in hand, in hand, in hand. All these charges go hand in hand, in hand, in hand. If you find him guilty on one, he's got to be guilty for the rest. It can't be any other fucking way. It can't be. That's why it took the jury 3 days to deliberate.
Well, they said there was a new juror and that they were having issues with that juror the whole time. And the maximum that he can get CFM Queen is 10 years. Unless they do, and I doubt that they're ever going to do this, unless they do concurrent, not concurrent, but consecutive,
Consecutive, yeah.
where he gets 20. But that's very doubtful because in federal, they usually do concurrent where they do it together. And so that's only 10 years. That's at max. That's if he gives him max.
Yeah.
He don't even
Yeah.
have to give him max. That's the maximum he can face.
Here's my prediction. On October 3rd, 2025, Diddy's gonna walk out of that fucking courtroom. Period. They're gonna give that motherfucker time served and maybe a term of probation. Maybe.
That's the maybe. It depends on now the judge and what the judge feels. And it also, now I will say, if there's possible other charges, but I doubt it. They would have to have evidence, right? What the defense did in this case to try to sway the jury was what they call, because they were willing participants, which I hope, in case that Casey, Jane and the male prostitute and all those, I hope they signed deals. Because if they didn't sign deals and they got up on them stands and admitted to it, guess who can face charges now?
Yeah, perjury.
No, they can face charges for the prostitution. They
Yeah.
admitted that they did the crime in open court. So anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So
You don't get
therefore, if
immunity from
they
that
didn't,
shit because you're a witness. You don't get immunity from
if
that shit because you're a witness.
well, that the only way you can is if you sign those deals. So if they didn't get an immunity deal and actually sign it, they can go back and charge each one of those persons who talked out against it if they did not sign a deal. So I'm praying that they actually did sign a deal, so that, because they could just go back and charge each one of them with prostitution charges,
Yeah.
each one of them with different charges, and have them on their criminal record. I don't know if they will, but that's the crazy part. If you ever decide to be a witness for something and you know you've done a crime, please make sure that you get your immunity clause in your
Yeah.
before you do anything,
Yeah.
because you got to make sure you say you are not going to. There's actually, when people plead the fifth, a lot of people don't know the reason you plead it is so that you don't incriminate
Incriminate
yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
And also, they cannot make your wife or husband um, talk against you in a court of law because of you being husband and wife.
Well, okay. Now I'm glad my wife and I were just discussing this yesterday. As a matter of fact, there's a catch to that, though. Okay, people think that that's how it goes. If we're married, you can't ask me any questions. No, no, no. Well, they can't, but they can. Now, they can, like my wife and I. We've been married for 18 years. Okay, so they could ask my wife questions about anything that happened before we got married, and if we got a divorce, they could ask her about anything that happened after we got a divorce. But that time frame of getting married. So if you and your partner went out and broke a bunch of laws and whatever, and they wanted to use you as a witness, and you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, okay? And before he goes to court or before you go to court, you get married, thinking that's going to save you. It's not, because you committed those crimes before you were married. That only comes in during the marriage process. You have to be married for that to count. So they can ask you any questions about anything before you guys got married. 100%.
Yep. Yeah, anything before, and if you get a divorce, anything after. It's just it. You have to look up your laws, your statutes, and different things. And a lot of people don't educate themselves on those things, and you really should, because not all the time do the law or the judges or the people have your best interest at heart. So if you educate yourself on what's going on, the only way that a spouse can actually go against their spouse is if they have to sign it's some kind of piece of paper or something, um, and then that's if they're separated and divorced. But they have to sign something. I forget what it's called, but yeah, you have to just do your research, do your due
Yep.
diligence, so that
Yeah.
you're in the know, because knowledge is power, baby.
Knowledge is power, and power is knowledge, man. I don't care what fuck what anybody says, dude. One thing I know for sure is knowledge is the most powerful thing in the world. Period. So,
Yeah, it's a waiver. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I knew we kept you
Sometimes
around for a reason, Martine.
it's Martine. Oh, I don't know why now I'm thinking of Fluffy. Martine.
Yeah, yeah. What's Inglesi, whatever his name is? I forgot his name. Yeah, I forgot his name. The comedian dude, right?
Yeah, it's Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias.
Inglesi, yes.
Iglesias with an I, not an E. I always think about that. Every time I hear Martine, that's always going to come to mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's my spiel for the day for that for FBI Friday. Like I can't believe I can't believe it. Well,
That
and
would be a
sitting
crazy
here.
one. Candy Rapper said she was hoping Diddy could share a prison cell with Suge Knight. Lord, sweet baby
Oh
Jesus.
damn! You know who the bitch would be in that relationship?
Diddy.
Did he be getting it? You know what I mean? Not giving it around this time. I'd be like, I told you I was gonna fuck you one day.
Oh, it's crazy to think about, like, someone who breaks federal law. Technically, you have definite proof of it, like actual proof, with witnesses, and they get a slap on the wrist. Which I'm gonna say this, I've spoken about a case multiple times, and I will continue to speak about it. Amaya Braxton. She was a young lady that got ran over. She was a little 7-year-old little girl getting off the school bus. The woman,
Sad
Karen
as hell.
Carpenter, ran around the bus, got a slap on the wrist, and all the locals believe she's kin to the judge or someone. They refused to indict her twice. She didn't even get a traffic infraction, and she dragged this baby down the road. And the only reason she stopped, she was running from the scene of an accident while dragging this baby under the car, was because other motorists saw the baby and stopped her with their vehicles. And she didn't even get a traffic infraction. Nothing. Not a thing. Amaya never got her justice. You know what I'm saying? And still to this day, it's not. The family's still fighting, trying to figure it out and trying to get it to a higher, like, something, because they've refused to indict her and do anything. And I'm like, but not even 6 months later, same thing happened. And in Mississippi, we have a thing called Nathan's Law. Nathan's Law says that you're not supposed to come within 10 feet of a school bus. You're not supposed to pass it for no amount of reason. And if any injury or death occurs because of you passing a school bus, you're supposed to face charges. You're supposed to go to jail for manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter. And even they have a thing called vehicular murder, right? And so you're supposed to, at the very least. And she got nothing. How many of these pedophiles do we see get maybe 5 years and repeat offend 5 years? If you look at the Naziah Harris case with Jarvis Butts, he was a repeat offender. You know what I'm saying? How many of these
Yep.
times, and then the only reason they end up going to jail for life is because they end up unaliving and murdering a person, a kid, a child.
Yep.
It's bullcrap.
Yep. When in reality, like like me being victimized as a child, like that murdered my childhood.
Yeah.
I have to relive my innocence being murdered for me my every single day for the rest of my fucking life. Like these are crimes that are worse than murdered in my eyes.
Here's another thing, and they do have a law that could take these repeat offenders out. I don't know if you know what a menace to society is,
Nope. Yep.
but
I do.
it's a three strike rule. If you create the same crime 3 times in a row, you can get 20 years to life, and you're pretty much no possibility of parole or 20 years life. And they could put this on those people, but they don't. Why? They do it to petty theft. They do it to drug offenders. They do it to, low level criminals. Why not do it to the high level criminals? You don't see that happening to them, but they should get a menace to society charge.
Yeah.
20 to life. And that's not including the actual charge. That's not including, whatever else they're charged with. That's just a menace to society charge. And they do have that out there. Because I got a cousin who got it. And he was in there from the time I was 5 years old until I was in my 20s. And all he did was some petty theft bull crap. And he got a menace to society charge, 20 to life. He was in there for over 20 years in prison.
Yeah. My brother from another mother, he was literally like, you ever heard of the Sundowners Law?
Uh, can you refresh that on me? Because I can't
So
remember.
Sundowners means you have until sundown to get the fuck out of town.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that before. Yeah, my uncle was
Yeah,
told
yeah.
that. Yeah,
My
he
brother,
had to,
my brother
they
from
told him
another
to leave
mother.
the whole state.
Yeah, and not come back for a certain amount of time. Sometimes it's for the rest of your life.
Yeah, they told him for life because he was a shoot 'em up, bang bang. Um, and they couldn't prove it. They didn't have the proof to. He had two teardrops that were real, and let's just say they couldn't prove it. And they told him if he didn't get out of the state of Tennessee, they was going to pin something on him that he better get out and he better stay gone. And he did. He came down here.
Right, right. CFM's queen. CFM's queen says, "Same. It unalived me in a way inside my innocence, unalived, etc." Yeah, yeah,
And
and
it not only, like me and Juju have talked about this multiple times, it not only affects you but every person around you, every person you meet. There's so many relationships in life that you like could have had or whatnot, and it messed it up, like friendships, relationships, everything.
yeah,
It changes your whole life and your trajectory to life, because some people take it the route of drugs and acting out, and they could have went on to become college scholars and all these other things, but because that trauma was so bad, it literally reshaped the trajectory of their life.
yeah, yeah. Like people say whatever, regardless of how you believe. You know, your path in life is set for you before you know, as soon as we get here, or whatever. Well, guess what? When this kind of shit happens to somebody, this person decided to change the course of my life and my path of life for the rest of my life. Like the path I should have been on is not, like, I don't even know where the fuck that is now. You know what I mean? I can never get back on that path ever. No victim can.
Well, that's
Corey,
like with my mother, right? She was extremely overprotective of me because of what she went through. So I wasn't allowed to go stay at friends' houses and do these different things, which I understand it now as an adult, but as a kid doesn't quite
yep.
understand that,
And
right?
I struggled. My wife and I struggled with that with our kids because we didn't. My kids, our kids, they went to my mom and dad's house. If they spent the night, they spent the night at grandma and grandpa's. Period. Like my daughter just turned 16. She's almost 17. She'll be 17 in October. And a year and a half ago, it's the first time we allowed her to go spend the night at a friend's house. My son has never spent the night at anywhere besides his grandma and grandpa's house. Period. It changes everything for somebody, man. It does.
It it changes what you would do. It changes the people around you, the love. Like my dad will tell you that many nights my mom woke up just screaming or crying or having night terrors, and my dad had to help her through it. And they've been together for 37 years, but it also changed. Like their relationship probably would have been a little bit different, right? I mean, it didn't change it for the worse for them because my dad understood. But what if my dad wasn't an understanding person? What if? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Um,
My, I'm
so
I'm the same way. Like I still have night terror. I'm 46 fucking years old, and I still have night terrors. Like I had one about a week and a half ago. Literally woke up everybody in the apartment in our like in the apartment complex. Like, like my wife. It's fucked up, man. That's what these parasites don't fucking think about. They don't care about that kind of shit. All they care about is that moment for them. That's it.
instant
And that
gratification is all they care about,
that's it.
not the consequences that it's going to have for the innocent child that you're doing this to, not the physical ramifications it can also have for the child that you're doing this to. How many kids have we seen unalived? How many kids have we seen, murdered by someone trying to do this to the child? There was a story that I read a couple weeks ago. It was a couple months ago or so. I forget exactly when, but the mother sold her 2 year old or 3 year old child. It was a baby, like it might have been under 2 or 3, to a man to pay her rent, and the baby didn't make it through it. It is the saddest stuff. I don't understand how any parent could do that to a child. And I also don't understand these mothers that sit there and know it's going on and excuse it away or protect the pedophile instead of protecting their child. I'm going to tell you, I'd be in hell or jail smiling in my mugshot.
Oh, I'm telling you right now. Like I would staple somebody's fucking body to the floor while they're alive, slowly cut them up piece by piece, and feed them to their own fucking dog for days. You
Oh
fucking
no,
right.
see, I try to
I'm
keep
not
them
even saying
alive.
this shit.
Let me just tell you something. If they would let me, I've said it before, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If they would let me open my own jail for these people, I promise you they would not be repeat offenders because they'd be too afraid to come back to my jail. I would make sure it was torture, like the worst torture you can think of, while keeping them alive. Like just enough, barely alive is what I mean. Like bullwhip the back, put salt in their wounds, throw alcohol on it, make them lay on their back on a hard concrete surface while they're doing that. And do it just so, and make sure they don't get an infection because I don't want them to get an infection. I want them to live through it. I want them to feel every bit of it and
Yeah.
feel, even though that's physical pain and it's not as bad as the mental pain they put their person through. I could also mentally torture them and find out what their worst fears are and bring them up every 5 seconds. You know what I'm trying to say? But
Yeah.
show them what they've done to that innocent child. I promise you, if those repercussions were that severe, they'd be so afraid to offend that they wouldn't want to do it. They'd be like, "No, if I
That's
get caught."
that's my argument right there, in a nutshell. Like I said it a million times, I'll say it fucking 5 million more times. Look, if you make okay, laws are designed to keep people in line. Okay, there has to be a penalty for breaking the law. The penalty is supposed to be designed to people for people to see that this is going to happen if you break this crime. The penalty is supposed to deter you from committing the crime. If you make child pornography, possession, distribution, receiving, sexual abuse, whatever, if you make these sex crimes the fucking death penalty on the first fucking charge, guess how many people are just going to stop raping and molesting children? A
That's
lot.
true
A
because they're
fucking lot.
afraid of the consequences. A reason a lot of us don't break certain laws is because we're afraid of the consequences. If you
Why
have
don't I
no
have a meth lab? Because
consequence,
I'm not a chemist.
if you're not afraid of the consequence and you know you're barely going to get 5 years, maybe two, you can come out, redo it, and keep getting away with it. You're not afraid. What is there to be afraid of? Oh, somebody thinks I'm this. It doesn't matter. I could go hide somewhere else, change my name, and pretend I'm somebody else, and then they won't even know. And I'm on the registry the whole time. I could keep disappearing and keep doing this and keep getting,
Yeah.
done. But I'm going to keep getting out. And we see this pattern over and over and over and over again. If you look at these people's charges, they're repeat offenders most of the time.
Look, and that's the fucking reality of it. They never stop at one. They never get busted the first time they commit the crime. Never. If somebody comes up and says, "Well, I'm 58 years old and this is the first time," no, you lying motherfucker. You have hundreds of fucking victims under your belt. I don't care what anybody. You don't just wake up one day in your adult life and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go molest a child today. I'm gonna go rape a child today." No, 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 no. No, you don't. It's been there for a long time. Period. Period.
And
Like
almost
for me, like for
you're a
me,
hundred
okay,
percent, yeah.
like for me, okay, I smoke pot. Is it legal in Idaho? No, it's not. But I'm telling you right now, if they said, guess what? If you live in Idaho and you get busted with weed, you're gonna go and spend 50 years in prison. I will never smoke a drop of weed in Idaho again. Here's the law. Here's the penalty. That penalty exceeds my extent to want to break that law. I'm not gonna go spend the rest of my life in prison for weed. Not gonna do it. I'll just quit or move to a legal state. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that's how it's designed. That's why it's designed that way. But it's not that way. And the reason why it's not that way is because the people that are in positions of power that make and determine the laws and penalties, they're fucking pedophiles themselves. They participate in it. They have a part in it. And if you are in a position of power where you make the penalties and laws and establish these, like you're not going to make it the penalties so you lose your life over it, especially when you participate in that fucking breaking of law. You know what I mean?
Yep.
How simple
And
it is.
it's very simple, and use common sense tactics. It's thought about. Someone who is a drug dealer. I know a man who was just selling weed, not nothing crazy, not nothing psycho, and literally spent over 25, 30 years in prison, but yet you have people out here touching children, doing stuff to children, and they get maybe 5 years, if that. Sometimes they get a slap on the wrist and just get probation. They're not afraid of the consequence because there is none. Not for them. The
Yeah.
risk outweighs the benefit, or the benefit outweighs the risk for them.
See, now it's crazy. It's crazy you brought that up because maybe I've told you this before, maybe I haven't. But like 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, my brother-in-law got busted for drug trafficking on federal cases. Okay, like we're talking drug trafficking. You know what I mean? Um, on his sentencing day, the judge gave him 26 years fixed in prison, federal prison. Upon his release, he is also required to report straight to the state penitentiary, to where he's got to do another 10 years of state time. Now, I'm not condoning drug trafficking. I'm not. You shouldn't do it. Okay. But what my brother in law did was went and got a product and brought it and gave it to adults who make the decision to participate in that activity on their own. Okay. The catch here is this: the motherfucker that was sentenced right before my brother in law that day was in there for his fifth time for production, distribution, and receiving child pornography. You know how much time he got?
Maybe 5 years, six
He's
years.
already out of prison. 5 years for his fifth time on this charge. Where's the justice in that?
There is none.
There ain't. There ain't. Like, who's more than likely going to Who's more than likely going to turn their life around? A fucking drug addict, a fucking drug dealer, or a fucking pedophile? It's simple. It's simple. So
Simple math says that if you know how you know, they said for your brother whatnot 26 years flat time. That means you cannot get a percentage off. You have to do that full entire 26 years plus the
yeah,
10 in
yeah,
state. And
yeah.
then, so this guy gets 5, but his is going to be reduced to most likely a year and a half, maybe 2. And that's it. And he actually ruined the lives of children. But we're just gonna give him a little smack on the wrist. But the guy's over here selling a little weed or selling a little something to survive in this lifetime because it's hard out here for a player. Um, you know, he
We're
gets 36 years for most of his born life, so he's most likely going to either pass away in prison or come out right before he does.
Well, let's see. Let's see. My sister is 19 months older than me. He's 3 years older than my sister. I just turned 46, so you do the math.
So, so she's how older than you? Your
She's
sister?
19 months older than me.
19 months, so that's a year and some
He's
months.
3 years older than her.
So he's 4 years older than you.
I'm
So
36. I'm 46.
so he's already 50.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's not making it out then.
No, he's not. Period. He's not.
And that's sad. He's going to pass away in prison. Yet the person who actually touched a child and did things to children and was passing it around and doing all this stuff
He's out there
is
doing it right now,
already
I
out.
guarantee you.
Just one time.
Out doing
And
it
not,
right now.
and not just one time. Not 2 times. Not 3 times. Not 4 times.
He's been caught.
Caught 5 times. 5 fucking times.
Technically, this would be his 6th time, right? He already
No,
had 5 charges.
this was his 5th time. He was in there for
Oh,
his fifth
this
time.
was his. Okay. But no, so you've already had 5 chances, 5 strikes, and they're still letting you get away with it. Where's your 3 strike rule on that?
Kind of weird, huh? Kind of
Mm-hmm.
fucking weird, huh?
Yet we see traffic infractions get the street. We see people who do, like, I'm talking about not even a high level dope dealer. I'm talking about somebody that's a corner boy selling a little weed out of their pocket. They're getting 20 to life. Yet you have somebody who's doing. It really kills me to see how sickening this is and how
Yeah.
there's no justice. Because I'm gonna say this: pedophiles should be right up there with murderers because they
Above them.
do.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Above them. They should be above fucking murderers.
You know what I would love to see? Me and my husband talked about this. You know the old school like Roman games where they had them in the circle. You know how? Okay, so basically have them fight to the death, right? And The murderers, you give them a percentage off their time where they're not in there for life. I'm talking about not in there for
I'm
life.
down.
For every pedophile that they take out,
Hell yeah. What the fuck?
pull it like the purge, but instead of just normal people going after each other, the murderers get to go after known pedophiles that are actually convicted, and for every person that they take out, they get a percentage off they time.
You know, you can even go. You can even go one step further. You don't even got to do it. You don't even got to do it like that. You can just like. Have you seen The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin in it?
Where they put them on the island.
And you just put a little sign-up sheet out on your supermarket. We're going to do this event on this day. Anybody who wants to participate in hunting down a pedophile, they're going to be in this. They're going to be in this area, and just to put them on Epstein's Island and let us all go have fun. What the
Hell
fuck? You
yeah.
guys want to prey on? You guys want to prey on children? Well, guess what? You're about to be preyed the fuck upon, boy. You know what I mean?
Oh, see that would be a better version of the purge, right?
And
Let
then
humans get out their aggression.
Let them take each other out.
there you go. There, and just let them take each other out. Just let them take each other out. Put them on the island and watch what the fuck happens. Give them no resources.
What was that
Televise the shit. Put it on
Mockingjay?
pay per view.
You know that Mockingjay show where they had the two people from each district? What was the name of that show?
Yeah, that's good. That way they can be responsible for themselves when they got to face God. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because it says, I mean, as much as we'd all like to, it's, I mean, it does. The Bible does say, "Thou shalt not kill." It's not a good thing, you know. And even that way, when they kill each other, like
Yeah.
no
Thank
innocent
you,
people are going to be taken.
Martine.
Yeah?
Hunger Games. We should do it like the Hunger Games with them. Put them all in a place, and whoever makes it out gets to live until the next Hunger Games.
Or you could even throw a real twist in and just tell them that, yep, the last one to survive, you're going to be left, and then just fucking put them out in the middle of the arena and just fucking let the public stone them to death.
Yeah.
Here's your prize, bitch. You die. That's what I think.
Well, see, they get another year to live until the next Hunger Games. So they,
Yeah,
they're
that's too much
basically
air for me.
they're
That's too much
they're
air for me.
and see they have to be able to survive the next Hunger Games. And you get what I'm saying? It's just a
Yeah.
never ending cycle, and we get to watch them off themselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing I do know about the Hunger Games is like, after it all that shit, you get the parades and all that shit and
Yeah,
all
we
that
get
shit.
no braids or none of that. No. They just get until the next one happens. They get that 1 year to live in prison. They're still in prison. They're not getting out, so they can't reoffend. They can't touch no other kids. They just get that little time, that little bit of time. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then the next Hunger Game come up, and they got to go through it again.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Ooh,
say,
Battle Royale would be good too.
legitimately, I say bring back public stonings.
I'm with Candy too. Bring back Alcatraz. Do some place like Alcatraz where they do some messed up shit to them and put them all in there.
Just put them all on Epstein's Island and they're not going to build the boat. They're not going to be able to get the fuck. They're not going to swim to another place where they're going to be sitting. No, just put no resources. What's here is what you got. You live for however long you live, and whatever happens is whatever happens. We don't give a fuck because you're the worst people in society, and this is your sentence to be outcast from society. Now go do it. Just suffer. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I really don't.
And let them cannibalize each other.
Yeah,
Don't get
they're not
no
going to last that
resources.
long, and you know what I mean. Like, there's no fresh water really there. I'm sure now, you know what I mean, because it's on an island, surrounded by seawater. So I mean, just saying, 7 to 10 days max they live. It's all good.
Yeah,
We
because
gotta do that shit.
if they don't have enough sense to build anything or do anything, that's on them, and they're going to pass
Yeah.
away from thirst and hunger anyway. And they're going to eventually have to cannibalize each other. So
Hey, hey, hey. It sounds like a good sentence to me. Still a death sentence. Still a death sentence. And no innocent people's souls are going to be fucking sent to hell for it. You know what I mean? Hey, we just put them over here. It's not my fault they didn't have the resources. Maybe Epstein should have thought about the future. Just saying. Just saying. But all right, I'm going to get out of here for the day. I'm
thank you for having me. Y'all have a good
Yeah,
day.
hey,
Give Miss
don't
No
forget.
Booty a hug for me.
All right, I will. I will. She's in there giggling. She's like, hee hee. You know. You know. Don't forget, Charlie. Sunday is karaoke night.
Okay, I'm not gonna try to forget. Hopefully, I'll be awake. Cause um, but I love y'all. Much love to the chat and everybody, and hugsies. Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. All right, everybody, this is G2K. I appreciate you guys being here. I really fucking do. Just the fact that you guys have a number of different things you guys could be doing right now than sitting here and listening to the words come out of my mouth and see my face, like, means the world to me. Like, that you guys give me your time. Time's one thing that we can't ever get back, so you guys give it to me. That's amazing for me, and I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody. Clockwork Rex, karaoke on Sunday. Yes, sir. Martine, Charlie sending love. Oh, look at that. Charlie's in blue. How'd that happen? Oh. Martine, Candy Rapper, Clockwork Rex, CFM's Queen. To the people on the rest stop, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the view. You know, maybe you could hit that like or dislike button. Maybe you could come and chat and say hi sometime soon or not, you know. Jessica Lynn, thank you for being here. Everybody else that came by, I appreciate it. I really do. Two things, everybody. Number one, try to love one another right now because you might not get a chance to do so tomorrow. In fact, there are people that are here today that won't get that chance to do so we might as well take advantage of it while we can. And number two, tell your friends about me because they're going to want to know, get to know. That's me. Tell your friends about it because you're going to want to know, get to know. Later, everybody. Thanks, Luna, for stopping by. Remember,